Hi everyone, so welcome to my another lecture for Year 8 Science, and let's talk about something we do constantly without even thinking about it. What it is, it's like breathing. So have you ever stopped or have you ever wondered that what you are pulling into your lungs? Your answer will definitely be that we are breathing air, right? But from where does this air comes from? So let's break it what's really inside it. In this chapter, we'll be studying what's really inside in this air. I mean, 20,000 times a day, you'd think you know that we are exactly breathing, but the answer is pretty surprising. Every single breath which you are inhaling is a complex cocktail of gases, right? And these gases comes from something called as the scientific term for this is atmosphere, right? Which is our Earth invisible shield. So a thick blanket of gases that surrounds the air is called as atmosphere, and all these gases comes from this atmosphere, right? So let's study in detail about this and we'll be knowing about the composition of gases, right? So without our atmosphere, there won't be any gases which are required for our all the processes which are taking place in our body. Okay, without these the living life is not possible, right? And there will be no rain, there will be no clouds, extreme heat, and the temperature is also maintained because of atmosphere only, and even it protects us from the harmful solar radiation. So this is all what this atmosphere does, and basically this is what all these gases does to us, right? It gives us oxygen to breathe. It is responsible for rains or clouds. It protects us from heats and cold, and it protects us from harmful solar radiation, right? So now what we have to study about the recipe of this air, like what will be the composition, what are the ingredients. So let's go ahead and study about it. When we breathe, there are many gases which goes on. You must be thinking that oxygen is necessary, right? For us, and carbon dioxide is harmful for us, but that's not exactly what it is. The actual composition of gases is this, right? You can see that this circle covers up a large bunch of purple portion, and what it is representing, it is representing us nitrogen. So nitrogen is a very important gas. It is the gas for stability, and it constitute about 78%. After that, the one which is responsible for all the life on the planet is oxygen, and this smaller greener portion is covered by other gases. So air is not only oxygen, not only nitrogen, but the mixture of all these nitrogen, oxygen, and all other gases is our air. Okay, but the vast majority is nitrogen, which is 78%. So you can see nitrogen you have 78%, oxygen 21%, argon 0.9%, and carbon dioxide. So let's study about nitrogen. This is our unsung hero. Now what this nitrogen is responsible for? First of all, it is responsible for the organic life also, like the bacteria in the soil, all the plants. These all are made up of nitrogen. You must be knowing that protein is the building form of life, and for protein, you require amino acids which contain majority of nitrogen. Okay, now what is that? Did we breathe also nitrogen, or our lungs only take oxygen? No. All the mixture of air goes to our lungs only, but nitrogen is stable. So it doesn't react. Only oxygen goes inside the body. Only oxygen is exchanged actually, and nitrogen, whatever we take, it comes out. Okay, so this is what nitrogen is. Okay, already I told you in the soil there are bacteria which does the growth of the plant, and all the protein is made up of nitrogen, so that is responsible for all the living life. Okay, now let's see the breath of life. What we do is oxygen. So oxygen, it is really very necessary for all the biological processes. It acts as our only, it is what that what makes us keeps alive, but it is also also required for combustion. Okay, so all the combustions, all this fire and all takes place with oxygen. Okay, now you must be thinking that so oxygen is such important, why it is not more, right? So the exact amount of oxygen is 21%, and it is there in a very suitable form. If it goes more than this, then there will be all fire. If it is less than this, then we were not able to breathe properly. So nature, how it does whatever, how much it requires, it balances and it keeps those things. So oxygen have a dual role. First of all, it is good for breathing, right? I mean, our lungs take it, it is required for all the life processes, as well as it is required for combustions also, it is required for fire also. Okay, so a delicate balance is needed. Too much oxygen means you will have uncontrollable fire, too little means we cannot survive also. Now, let's talk about the small remaining bunch of gases which we had. Okay, so let's see. So here we have another gases which is argon. It is used in insulation and double glazed window, right? Neon we have. You must have seen those bright advertisement signs, okay, in shops and all when you go. So this is where neon is used. And then ozone. Ozone is really very important gas. O3 is its formula, and it protects us from harmful UV radiation. Okay, so this is what ozone does. Okay, now there is carbon dioxide also. So I will tell you something about carbon dioxide, that you must have studied greenhouse effect, isn't it? So what carbon dioxide does is that this is your atmosphere, right? And you have earth here. So all these radiation comes here, okay? But as you have carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, carbon dioxide absorb these reflected radiation from the earth. So what happened actually, it traps heat. Okay, carbon dioxide traps heat. So what happens that we are able to maintain a bit warm temperature. If it is not there, then there will be so cold, the earth will be so cold. So this is it. Okay, so this is what carbon dioxide does. And basically if it is more, right, as we are using CFC, HFCs, which are there in your AC, chlorofluorocarbons, you must have heard terms. So what will happen, there will be more carbon dioxide and it will trap more heat. So that's why we have these effects. Okay, earth will, temperature is increasing day by day as carbon dioxide is increasing. Okay, so let's talk about the last thing, which is protecting our atmosphere. See, earth we always have to keep balance. Okay, if this balance is not maintained, then what happens, that something is more and it really impacts all the processes, all the biological processes which are going on. So we have to protect our atmosphere. As our vehicles are increasing, as our factories are increasing, as our manufacturing is increasing, more and more CO2 emission is there, and too much it is trapping the heat and it is causing global warming, right? So cars on the M25 and power in stations, they increase, isn't it? So we need earth to be protected, and you must have heard in London there is ultra low emission zone. It was there to introduce to reduce the population. So there are some key takeaway. You have 78% nitrogen, it is the most abundant gas, then 21% oxygen, and then 0.04 a tiny amount with huge and plant work. Thank you.